Welcome to the match of two undefeated teams. That is the Achare Longbows. That's my team. Taking on the UFL Elftown Privateers. Oh, actually, this is just me just reading scripted almost by reading that. It's Elftown Privateers. The interesting history of the Elftown Privateers and why this UFL is there is because it's a name that followed the coach from an old draft league that's no longer operational. So let's kick off the ball. Quick snap is entailed. Quick snap for the offense. Means you can move one square of any unmarked piece. The ball bounces right into the target. With the block skill against Vanilla Piece, it is 3 pushes. I'll do block on Vanilla and block on Vanilla. And there's the first reroll. It's not a big deal, though. I can understand that reroll to a degree. I had this game marked. I knew that the Privateers were going to be the primary competition in this league. So I was always thinking, okay, I know this guy's a great coach in all his leagues. And it turned out I was right. The Privateers are one of the premier teams within the Ulthuan First League. And since this is a match between two Draft League Europe coaches, I think it's one of the better matches to promote that league. I'm not asked to promote it. I'm just doing it out of the kindness of my heart. It's a nice stock league because it's just human teams. In fact, there are 2 human draft leagues within the NA North American and EU European footprint. It's in total, if you add all those leagues in total, there are 52 such human draft league teams. So it goes to show you that it's a type of league that is in demand. However, you don't see that in the Australian or Asian footprint, the Pacific Asian footprint. So I tried to ask if anybody was interested in that and the Kiwi side of things. But I haven't heard back, so we'll see. I might, because when I tried to recruit for the Human Draft League, okay, block on Lodge with the reroll, not what he wanted. Now that he's down to 2 rerolls to 4, I think that might have been a wrong reroll, especially since the drive wouldn't end there. It's pretty safe. I could try to do something, but whether I do or I don't, I'm feeling a little bit of confidence here. So it's block on Blodge. No, it's just block on his side, and down he goes as I tag the ball carrier, most likely, and I do. Off the rush. Tackle. Nope. Here comes the receiver. Interesting choice as I take the both down and retain my 4 rerolls. No reason to do it. And Buzz Greenwood is badly hurt in a magnificent hit from Willowbark. Fend comes into play. So that was sidestep plus fend. It's a really strong pairing of skills. But that'll do it. Block and tackle on Blodge. Not what he wanted again. Sidestep and fend is also represented on that piece. Swing and a miss with the knife. Down he goes. But I'm going to retain adjacency with fend and sidestep. The foul. And the stun. I know that I can get a shot on frame with a blitz, so I'm going to try to do that. Block on wrestle leads to a stun. Block on block. Down he goes. It's worth a try. Get at least one dice. And that's where I throw a reroll. Why? Because that could change the game right there. Off the blitz. On the ball carrier. It's a good hit. And that chain push almost gets him free. He's going to need one more chain push if he moves someone here and then pushes. Oh, much better. He could push that way. What was I thinking? And down he goes off a POW. It is block and tackle on block. And now he's off to the races and he's fairly safe. Fairly safe. Very good control, and you see why I esteem him as such a strong coach to play against. There's Bo Silver Lake, the captain. Igor Popov. I'm trying to sell Popov, but nobody wants him. It's a dodge. Push that way. It's worth the roll of the dice. He's a blodge piece, though. And I've used 4 rolls on him, and I finally got the POW. It was all 1-die attempts on that ball carrier, but finally he gets chopped down. And by the way, this guy can just pick it up after he blitzes this guy off the ball. So let's see if he does that with Alabrian the Forsworn. One of the best players in the league, Alabrian the Forsworn. And he took him for a ride out of bounds. That should make things a little bit easier, because now it is 11-7 on the field in favor of the Privateers. Privateers? More like I have tears in private due to this match. There's the pickup. And there's your protection. He seems perfectly content with that. I'm going to try to blitz with that War Dancer up top that was just tagged, I think. If I recall, I think I do recall properly. Get that AV-10 on the dagger. Why not? And there's for the trick. If I can launch the ball down there off a handoff to the ball carrier, to the thrower, that'd be great. It's worth the rolls here. And I'm out of re-rolls in the first half after I was retaining them for so long. My re-roll discipline is off. Efrandaria and Alabrian is going to try to make another impact here. Frenzy. Strength 4 and Strength 4, and down he goes. Just a nice control game here. Stunner. 2, 3, 4, 5. Scores early. Touchdown, Privateers. Privateers 1. Longbows 0. And it seems as though he does not respect the offensive capability of Bo Silver Lake, who's taking the field on the side of the Longbows. He's the thrower, by the way. I'm set up for a 1-turn touchdown, possibly. It's possible para mí. And here is the blitz to push. He does go up a space, and there's a death from the blank lineman. So it hardly mattered, but it felt good, right? For me, it's good. I'm 11-10 on the field right now. I feel pretty good. Good movement. And I should be more or less protected here, but we'll see. A Labyrinth is tagged. And now Bo Silver Lake is going to make the rushes because it's not as important, but it gets him more in the mix in the back end if I do need him, but I fail. Without that reroll. That's enough to get in business, and down he goes. It's my movement 9 piece, so I'm on the spot where I can score, and I have the sprint skill. So, but there's a big but here. He gets the blitz on target. Block and tackle come into play. Down he goes. Block on block. It goes with a stumble to the ground. And I'm all about business here. I'm just going to free up this guy to give a handoff. Fails to shadow. Stunner off the side step. And I'm just tagging if I fail the handoff. And I'm just going to make all my tags if I fail the handoff here. Oh, I pick it up. It's worth a rush. Touchdown, Andre Corfram. And the Longbows have tied the game 1-1 in the first half here. The Privateers could have waited until turn 8, that's true. However, this is Elf Ball, and we like to have fun with it. Bounce back into the hands of a very strong catcher. It's going to be 3 dice here. Dicey. Sidestep. It's going to need that reroll. It does bring him to the ground. Maybe it's worth stomping, maybe not. Oh, stunner on my spite. There's going to be 2 dice here. Oh, not what he wanted, but it's okay. And it's a foul. It gets him out. He has enough reserves, though, for the second half. Not that big of a deal, I think. Because it's turn 8 here, that doesn't really matter. And if I recall... Oh, yeah, he doesn't have any skills on either player, so those are pretty soft removals. That I provided to his team. And that is the half. As we head into halftime, it's 1-1 with the Longbows 1 and the Privateers 1. This is a very important match to determine the standings at the end of the season. So, you know, we'll see who gets to go to the BCL Championship. That is the Blood Bowl Champions League, where you're going to see the KPA, the Kislev Premier Alliance, and the Ulthuan First League square off. Double skull, I'm saying I probably need more hits than that on my first turn on the drive. Out he goes, and that makes me feel better about that. Igor Popov can't move the pile. My whole idea now is to make sure... Oh my gosh, another reroll. I'm losing it. And I'm pushing people down the field because my quarterback here, Bo Silver Lake, can launch it all the way across the field. A great time to put on pressure. The tree man is tagging a lot of people, and he's still getting green dice. Good work. Get a shot on frame. of one of the ball carriers here. Potential ball carriers. Oh no, it's going to be the War Dancer. Bend and sidestep. And tackle. And there's a stunner. Very stunning. And you can tell that my whole idea is to free up this catcher. And that's all I needed, but this is going to be one dice, one die, and down into a push. Why did I go here? So this one can't interfere and catch. 2 plus times 2. Interceptions happen, especially if you pass as much as I do. And Corfram scores the second touchdown in the same game against my rival for next season. We're not currently rivals, but we will be next season. It's 2-1 in favor of the Longbows, and maybe you'll find out why we are rivals in season 2 off of this one. Just a push. Down he goes. I'm going to have to pause the video to handle that. You might have heard the bleep. That bleep occurred when I was recording, but that's one of the season 2 draft, so pause here. Sorry about that. Somebody had to have 2 skill rolls off of the draft. A skill roll happens when a skill is explicitly listed as a skill, or also if there's duplicate skills when you draft into it. So he rolled a double and a 10. A 10 gives you AV plus or MA plus, or I like to say MV plus. Or you can just do a primary skill in this instance because it wasn't a 5 and a 5 to get to 10. I think it was a 6 and a 4. So that's a really lucky roll. He wants guard and defensive, possibly, but he didn't know about the MV plus and the AV plus. So he might want to change that. But guard and defensive as a synergy is just powerful. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to have to pause the video again. He needs a little bit more help. So if you run a draft league, being responsive is very important. So if you run a draft league, either you need to get somebody else to handle the draft or to respond immediately. There's always have to be eyes on the Discord, especially during the draft, because an unresponsive, for lack of a better word, game master or dungeon master, if you prefer. And this is just an easy blitz here. You have tackle, you've got the wrestle on this piece and block, so it's like I know that she's going to drop to the ground, and I'm going to leap over the top here, as I often do, and I hand off, and I fail. I remember this exchange. I was like, yes! I've stopped his drive, and now I can go for the score and put it on this hard-to-bring-down piece, but I failed. Yeah, if you don't have eyes on the Discord, and if you can't respond right away, you're going to lose a lot of trust right away, especially for new people that might not know how much it goes into getting things done, or might think about, yeah, it's been like 30 minutes and this guy hasn't responded to me. This is a real drag. And that negative feeling might be taken with them throughout the season. So and for it to be my game that I am providing people, I have to know that, hey, that they have to have a good time, and they have to feel taken care of. Making it a cool league on top of that is great, but you have to do those basic human things to make sure that it runs properly. So when I moved down to Texas and I get myself a job after all that learning that I did, essentially I'm still looking for people to fill in the gaps, to you know, take the wheel when necessary. And there might be a few people that could. I don't know, though. There's a possibility that I might have to be a little bit slower, and that will inevitably hurt the league. So let's see how that goes, though. With a surf. I have such a big Discord now, though. There will be people that step up. So we'll see. And here we have block on vanilla. It's going to get 2 dice here as well. Block and tackle on the blodge piece. Captain, down he goes. And that will remove him from the game. And it's pretty safe. Pretty on frame. And you're going to watch one of the more remarkable plays of the season, if I do say so myself. This is why I thought that Bo Silverlake should have been an MVP candidate. So let's see if he can. And since I run the league, I was like, everybody pick one, and I picked Bo Silverlake as mine. And jump on it. Reroll to catch the ball too, and a straight arrow. Beautiful. And off to the races, Timmy Meadows goes. Nobody's in range to hit me now with that rush. And I'm going to try to milk the clock too, if I can. It's worth a reroll to make sure that I can close out the game with a 2-point lead. Force him to score quickly and then get the ball back with a nice cushion to push him off of the board. And it's this play right here that probably cements this as a rivalry. As the fence skill slows him down slightly, but he's willing to do that. He has to use his reroll, both down to 1 reroll each. Perfectly played. Wow. And there he goes. Pretty safe. I think that I'm going to try to surf that Dragon Prince blitzer here when I get an opportunity to. But hopefully you got excited with that play. That goes to show you the power of PA Plus in conjunction with Cannoneer. You can throw 2+ from the 12, my 12, to the end zone at 2+ times 2. And here comes block and Juggernaut. I'll take Juggernaut if I get Skulls, but I get another try, and he's out of there. And I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to score the touchdown. No, I'm not. Block on vanilla. I'm happy with the removal, but was it necessary? So I'm threatening the surf here too. But also the witch elf. Touchdown! Touchdown, Achare, Longbows. Achare 3. Privateers of Elftown 1. Okay. So this guy's here just to get in the way. Reserve, it's like I don't want him to get hurt. Because this guy doesn't have skills. And although I want to keep the PA plus Hekana's Moni on the bench, I'm not going to. And that's a step too far. Here's the kickoff. And the Labrians easily removes them with a badly hurt. And I have the worst casualty differential. And as you can tell, the one with the best casualty differential are the Clan Mulder Volksgrad surfers of the Kislev Premier Alliance. Good work. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 3+ times 2 fails, which is disgusting, I know. And last reroll. I don't mind it. I sort of want to still position. I should have done all these standard things earlier. I don't have tackle, but I do have block, and that's enough to splatter into a badly hurt. That's enough to knock down. Take that. I'm just going to try to pick it up. 3+, dodge, fail. Stunner. And there's not much he can do here. He needs to do something like this. Yeah, I was looking there too. I think he looked at that and found this way. It's just a push. And down he goes. You know, you can actually turn off in the field settings. The pitch settings, you can get rid of the field. So if you don't like seeing it, you can keep a field for videos like this. But if not, you can turn it off as you view it so it doesn't get in the way. So you don't even have to look at it if you put it in. Just saying. And good dodge. Oh no. And gonna have to blitz him here. Block on vanilla with 2 dice. I'll take the block, please. And you're not gonna believe this. Yeah, I'm gonna tag first, but Bo Silver Lake is gonna try again. And again. 3+ times 2. Just a nice flat throw there. And that's far enough. And this should seal the game. If he scores, the game ends anyways. And down he goes. And I'm going to fend sidestep, but that could be a death. Down she goes. Gianna Bachman. One of my better pieces. Here comes a blitz with block and tackle. And he gets a hit on Igor Popov. It's going to be a push. So I had a lot of luck in this match. That's for sure. And that's the end of the ball game. Achare Longbows 3. Elftown Privateers 1. Bye for now.